perimenopause, menopause, and mental and emotional health. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Kristi Tompkins, and I am a women's health and hormone specialist. I've been in practice for about 18 years, and my specialty is educating, supporting, guiding women during the transitional years of perimenopause, ultimately leading to menopause when the period stops for 12 months. And one of the more common symptoms I hear from my clients is not always hot flashes, night sweats, weight gain, low libido. Those are definitely common for a lot of women. Some of the other common symptoms that a lot of women don't necessarily talk about, or it doesn't come up on the first appointment, is their mood has changed. They are feeling a lot more depressed. Their mood is oscillating. It's going from irritable, angry, frustrated, impatient to tearful and more sensitive. And the mood swings are definitely more substantial, more dramatic compared to what the woman is used to. So, with the menstrual cycle, if you are still bleeding, right before the period, the bleeding actually starts, a woman's hormones drop. They drop pretty substantially. That causes the withdrawal bleed, the period. And so, naturally, a lot of women will feel more tired, maybe a little bit more sluggish, maybe not sleep as well, maybe a little bit more irritable or more sensitive, crying a little bit more when maybe she would not have. With perimenopause, because of the hormones are dropping a lot in preparation for menopause, women notice that their psychological and emotional health changes are more significant. They're even more apparent and even more uncomfortable and inconvenient and unpredictable. And it becomes a source of distress to a lot of women, in addition to all the other changes, health changes that accompany uh, perimenopause and menopause. But the mood changes become really distressing because it's not something that a lot of women can predict, as I just mentioned. It's not something they can plan for. It just hits women, and it can be incredibly distressing for women, not just with their own health, but also with their relationships, partnerships, with their children, colleagues, their friends, family members, things like that. So it becomes this like almost not necessarily shame, although that can be one of the emotions that women feel because they might have an outburst and yell at their kids, or they might yell at their spouse, or become irritated with a colleague or coworker, and it often takes women by surprise. So with perimenopause and menopause, there are lots of different solutions, resolutions, or potential treatments or therapies that can alleviate the hormonal swings associated with perimenopause, and therefore can help lessen the mental and emotional health symptoms and changes. And sometimes it involves HRT, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, or BHRT. In some cases, it might be changing your diet, putting in more nutrient rich foods into your diet, getting rid of some of the pro inflammatory processed foods. For some women, it might be getting back into a regular routine of exercise, changing your exercise. That's a big one where a lot of women get stuck in doing the same thing week after week, month after month, year after year, and the body doesn't really change. And now the muscles and the body develops this memory to what the woman's going to do, and nothing really changes substantially physically, and then also mentally as well. So maybe changing that up, and things like maybe going to a therapist, revisiting a therapist, going to a new one, things like meditation, any type of mindfulness or mind body practice, mind body healing practice can help calm the nervous system change the brain waves from the high beta, high stress brain waves to more alpha, focusing more on sleep hygiene, connecting with other people, nurturing your relationships, getting rid of things that are maybe toxic for you. The list goes on and on and on. Getting out in nature, being with the trees and the rivers and the streams and the ocean if you live near a coast. So there are many things that women can do during this time when things feel out of control. Physically, there's a lot you can do. And then, of course, emotionally and psychologically, there are ways to better adapt and become more resilient so that you feel like you are more in control. Yes, there are going to be times where you are blindsided by depression or feeling anxious for no reason, and you're wondering, why do you feel anxious all of a sudden? There are ways that you can more quickly respond to life changes and these hormonally induced mental and emotional changes. So keep that in mind. It's not a one size fits all. If you would like to consult with me, I do offer a complimentary discovery call, consultation call if you'd like to ask questions. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you next time.